What's up, everybody? It's Henry with Conley Coaster Designs, coming back with another Project 2024/Haunt attraction update. This update will be much more focused on the new haunted attraction, what we might see as a theme, what we might see as a storyline, and what we're able to pull from a few of the teasers by brightening and color correcting stills from those teasers. Thank you to Storm Chaser Justin for assisting me with that. Before we dive into the update, just to recap where Project 2024 is headed. And I will touch on this in the later part of this episode here. Project 2024 is easily at the beginning or well into phase 1 of the construction project. There are multiple phases to this project. There are multiple things which we still don't have answers to, which I will get to in a few minutes here. But we are definitely well into phase 1. And with how Dorney is starting to tease this project, we have reason to believe this project is definitely going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in Dorney Park's history. So let's dive right into talking about the Haunt Building. And we're going to just start with what the state of the Haunt Building as of Saturday was. So the Haunt Building has progressed pretty darn far in the matter of a week. They have gotten a lot of weathering done. They have gotten a lot of aging of the structure done. This structure has gone from looking like a brand new building to looking like it has been dilapidated and abandoned for the last 50 plus years. All the weathering around all of the various entrances, windows, it is all getting that nice patinaed copper look to it. The walls are getting this really worn down, weathered look to them. Anywhere where they are working on windows, they are actually making those windows almost opaque, which you would expect to see with older windows that have fogged, gotten dirty. So they are paying close attention to detail on this new haunted structure. And it is definitely going to be one of the most unique and probably coolest structures in the park so far. Which we have a theory on where this could lead, which we'll get to a little bit later here. The steel stacks that I was talking about that were being erected and installed into their foundations are now standing in those foundations, and they are tethered into place. Whether this means that those steel stacks will not be being raised any higher, or they're just being temporarily tethered in place for now, we don't know. But it does feel a little odd just having steel stacks sitting inside the building tethered the way they are. Could they work this into a bigger theming element? Absolutely. There's a chance this becomes a much bigger structure. It's a chance that the structure stays the same height. We don't know this information, but what we do is these tethered steel stacks. And as we continue into the photos, they are making great progress on the kind of untouched section of the haunt structure right now, where I believe is going to be the entrance. Starting to add in theming around the windows by patina, or adding a patina to those windows, adding a patina to the roll-up door, and really starting to age the whole structure and kind of tie it all in together. We have the Ultra Boom, the 135 foot, still on site. Again, they are using this thing to reach pretty high up and deep into the structure. They're using that articulating front end on it to obviously get a lot of the work done on the harder to reach parts of the structure where they can't get to with anything else. Looking at the front of the haunt structure, I believe what we're looking at the top is what we can expect to see lower down on the structure. Probably not as dark as it is currently, but we will see that same weathering that we're seeing up there move down the structure and continue to age the entire facade of the structure. We still have that TM. This is still something that we are just unsure of, how the TM is going to tie into everything, but we have, just in this photo alone, 6 different items that say TM on them, including the biggest one, which is that larger, I guess, logo, for lack of a better words, at the very top of the structure. What TM is, what that stands for, we don't know. Justin and I have tossed around this idea that it could be the mill. It just sounds so generic. Then again, Cedar Fair just did announce that Cedar Point's new roller coaster is going to be Top Thrill 2, so pretty generic name. I'm hoping this won't be the case for Dorney, but no idea what TM is. And if you have speculations on what TM is, please add them in the comments. I'm really interested to see what other people think TM stands for, and I'm really interested to see what it ends up being. And I'm suspecting 8/10 we will know what TM stands for, if not sooner, depending upon how many teasers Dorney Park ends up dropping between now and 8/10. Moving along onto the structure, you can get a closer up close look at those tethers. Again, I don't know if these are permanent tethers. Looking at some of the the ends of the tethers that I could see from where you can access to get shots of this structure. Again, don't go where you're not supposed to. We don't want you to get trespassed out of Dorney Park and miss out on what this is going to be. And again, we suspect this is going to be a big, huge addition to the park, one of the biggest the park's gotten in recent history, if not all of its history. But these tethers do look like they are semi-permanent. They don't look like they're temporary tethers. They don't look like they're just there to help hold the stacks up and prevent them from collapsing while construction progresses. Again, there is absolutely a chance this stack will be elevated and the other stacks will be elevated and stand much taller than they are. And then again, I haven't seen anything, I don't know, submitted with the township, I guess would be the best way to say it, to indicate this. So we don't have any clear idea. Looking at other parts of the structure, they are definitely moving forward with aging out and kind of adding to the ripped apart, torn apart nature of the facade there, where we saw that they did not complete it. And again, I believe this is just going to add to that ruins feel. Again, the teasers, the exterior shots look to have been shot at the ruins at Bethlehem Steel stacks, or Steelworks, sorry. So I think this is all going to tie into the ruins, and we have more evidence on how this is going to tie into the ruins, which we're going to get to, but the fact that the structure is still missing this chunk just continues to add on to the evidence that this will tie into the ruins. And again, Dorney Park is has been very clear about this. They want to tie into the history of the area. They want to tie into the history of the park. They want to tie in all this together and create an attraction and obviously a roller coaster that pay homage to that. So paying homage to the ruins, which is already a creepy area at night, dark, very quiet, but kind of makes you wonder what goes bump in the night. That's a very wonderful touch to add to this new haunt structure. It's definitely got me excited. It's got Justin excited. And I hope it has you guys just as excited. The one thing that I do want to touch on, the steel trussing that I have highlighted a few times in this is visible through multiple windows. Whether Dorney Park plans to hide that in some way is still yet to be seen. Whether that steel trussing is even going to be a permanent part of the structure, or if the lower portions of it we are seeing are just temporary until they build additional structures and supports in order to maybe support that top half. We don't know. We're a speculation video. Wonderful. Bunch of stuff we don't know. But it'll be very interesting to see if that structure does stay, how they obscure that from the outside, and how they conceal that on the inside. Because again, Dorney Park is very good at building haunted attractions. They're very good at building haunt sets. And one of the things that they pay very close attention to is hiding the things that make their haunt function. So if these truss works are a part of what makes this haunt function, seeing how Dorney is going to hide that is going to be very interesting. Again, TM. We don't know what it is, but this is prominent above every window that we've seen so far that has an archway. And just some further shots of the new haunt building. Pay close attention to those windows. Those windows, that mesh or chicken wire material that's on them, it's going to be very important when we start talking about the teasers and what we're seeing in the teasers, especially when we color correct them, and where we theorize these teasers are already being filmed. And then, of course, further back, looking at the haunt structure, this is a dominating structure. It is one tall, wicked-looking structure. You can see it as you make your way towards Possessed. You can see it as you're making your way back towards the bathrooms, towards the flying scooters. This structure will be seen, and it will dominate the skyline as far as that point of view goes. And then one more up-close look at the structure, and we are back towards that one final structure. Again, pay close attention to these windows. Justin and I have been honing in on these windows. We've been talking about these windows all day long. Those windows kind of add to a detail that we noticed in the teasers, and we are going to talk about that in a second here. So, moving to the teasers, Dorney Park has been very smart, and I will say has probably been running the best teaser campaign we have seen from any theme park yet this year. Holiday World, I'll give them credit. They ran a very good teaser campaign on their Gravy Boat coaster, but nothing is going to compare to the teaser campaign that we currently have going. This teaser campaign hits on all things that Dorney is known for. Dorney Park's known for that creepy element during their haunts. They are known for a pretty extreme haunt as far as theme parks go, with very good costuming, very good makeup, very good sets. This structure, being at the forefront of their teaser campaign for their new roller coaster and for this new haunt zone, indicates to us that this is going to be a much larger project than we had initially thought. See, when I first started talking about this, and you can go back into my videos, I was talking about how it's going to be a haunt structure tied into a roller coaster. I'm going to pause right there. I don't think it's a haunt structure tied into a roller coaster any longer. I think this is a haunt structure tied into a roller coaster, tied into a new haunt zone. And that theory is also backed up by Justin. We both think that Dorney Park is looking at the competition and saying, okay, we need a new haunt zone. Pirates is no longer the haunt zone that's going to tie into this whole new project that we are building. So I think, and Justin agrees with me, we think that this roller coaster, this new haunt structure, is going to be a complete new haunted zone themed to Bethlehem Steel, themed to the ruins, themed to a specific storyline, which I want to get to here. So we're going to dive right into teasers. If you color correct the teasers, you are going to notice that the sets that they are filming these teasers on are pretty elaborate. It's not like, it doesn't seem to us like this set was set up somewhere else for the filming of teasers. It doesn't make any sense to us. If you're going to set up something this complex, which is possibly teasing your new haunt, your new haunted attraction, your new haunt zone, why would you set it up in another studio just to tear it down and reset it inside of your haunt building? Especially if this is what the haunt building will look like on the inside. Moving along, as you color correct images, you're going to notice key little details that help tell us a story. This story is possibly not obvious if you just watch the teasers without color correcting any of the footage from the teasers or any of the images. But in this photo alone, we see what appears to be blood splatter and a lost cell phone. Now, if you go to the Conley Coaster Designs Twitter, I highlighted how there was a specific wordplay being said through the teasers. And oddly enough, for a one-frame flash, there was a blood-splattered fluorescent fixture. It really confused me. I wasn't too sure what was going on there. Now we have a blood-splattered floor with a random cell phone. We're going to get to what our theory is on that in a moment here. But first, it's different. This is giving us a storyline without telling us every little detail, which is what I'm excited for. Now, if you look at this stage, I guess would be the best way to say it, this set piece, you're going to notice that the ceiling, the roof of this, is a wood truss roof. A wood truss roof that's very similar to the wood truss roof that is inside the current haunt building. This teaser is not being filmed inside of Bethlehem Steel. This is not being filmed inside the ruins. This teaser, we believe, is being filmed inside the haunt structure as we speak. Now, looking at work that was being done on the haunt structure before they started on that exterior facade, they were gutting the interior way in the beginning of the season. There has been enough time that has passed that they are able to, or would have been able to, build a haunt set inside of this structure already, especially if their plan is to have this open for September and have it open for this year in order to build up enthusiasm for next year's brand new attraction. Dorney Park has not indicated whether this ride will, or this haunted attraction will open with the haunt this year. But if this is in fact inside the haunt structure right now, if this in fact is the one of the set pieces or one of the scenes of this haunt structure, they have progressed pretty fast and pretty far into construction on the interior, not only on the outside. So if they are planning to open this for 2020 or 2023's haunt, they could well pull it off. And we have more evidence of this as we look forward into those teasers. I'm not going to share all the photos that we have, but Justin has been putting his nose to the grindstone today and really pulling off a lot of color-corrected footage in order to back this theory that we have. Now, again, this exterior grate on this window becomes very important as we're looking at the teasers, because in the teasers, there are specific parts where you will see this interior shot of a window. And it's in teaser 3 that you see this window. The camera hones in on it pretty heavily, and you can see that same grating. Whether they're shooting in that specific window or not is to be told. They could be shooting in the back of the haunt structure. Justin believes that there were windows back there. I believe I remember there being windows back there. I didn't have the photos to reference, unfortunately, but we do believe that the haunt structure is being used to film this set piece, or film these teasers. One of the things that you could quickly gloss over, and I think is going to tie into this theme, again, we don't know how this is going to tie into the TM, but there is a portion of today's teaser that says, and I can't tell if it's Katavish steel, if there's another portion of the word past the C that they're not just showing us yet, but we might be starting to get an idea of the name of maybe the steelworks. Maybe we're getting a name of one of the, I guess, haunted characters, one of the villains of this haunted attraction. But we did notice this. Justin noticed this. I was happy to see this because now we're starting to get that tie-in. This is definitely steel related. We already were almost 100% certain when we said that it was going to be steel, related to Bethlehem Steel. They came out with the teasers at Bethlehem Steel. Now we're getting something that possibly is inside the haunt structure that says Tavish Steel or Katavish Steel. Again, maybe there isn't. This word starts with an M, and that's how it ties into the TM. We'll see where this progresses to. But in the most recent teasers, we have noticed a man. This man does not look creepy. He looks like a average person. And the thing about this is we were pretty much instantly thinking the same thing. Urban exploration. It's very popular today. UrbX is something that you will see out there. One of the biggest YouTube channels out there for it. The Proper People, they have explored some of the most amazing abandoned structures across the world. UrbX has taken off like crazy. So for Dorney Park to tie in urban exploration to Bethlehem Steel, to the ruins, maybe we are starting to see where that cell phone comes in, where that blood splatter comes in, and possibly what the fate of this guy that you see in the photo is. In another shot from today's teaser, you see him on his cell phone filming. You can see the bright flashlight, or the flash on his camera filming what we, again, believe is the set piece. And whether this window is the window that you saw from the exterior, we don't know. It could very well be. They could be filming this at night because, again, it doesn't look like there's a roof on top of that structure yet. We are seeing pipework in other shots that could potentially line up with pipework that we saw both on the exterior and coming through the roof of the structure. I really am almost 100% confident, and another shot of our Urban Explorer, I am fairly certain, and Justin and I talked about this, we are fairly certain in saying that this is going to tie into urban exploration gone bad at Bethlehem Steel, urban exploration gone bad at the ruins. Did this urban explorer stumble upon someone whom he maybe did not want to stumble on? I don't think this is going to necessarily have a ghost theming to it, although I think there will be some sort of supernatural tie-in to it, hence all the whispering and the various voices you can hear throughout the various teasers. But what I do think is that somehow this might tie into the man with the grinder. Could the man with the grinder be that serial killer who was lurking inside the ruins that this poor urban explorer stumbled upon? Could you be living the final moments of this urban explorer's life as you explore the ruins at Bethlehem Steel? I think we are getting very close to a theme here. Justin and I have predicted a few things so far that have come true and have been kind of reaffirmed by the teasers, and I think that we are on it here. I see this as being a very obvious and very solid choice. Urban exploration gone bad. Urban explorer stumbles upon a serial killer in Bethlehem Steel. The fencing, as Justin said, could be used to house his victims before he inevitably kills them. And you might end up living his final moments as a part of the walkthrough in this. Now, this does nothing for us if we don't discuss how this ties into Project 2024. And Project 2024, it is described as having some sort of tie-in to this haunt structure. So if Project 2024 is going to have a tie-in to this haunt structure, then how are we going to see this dilapidated building be carried through? Again, I projected that we will see the the coaster's station carry this exact same theming. I think that we will see this Bethlehem Steelworks ruins-like structure in the station, both inside and outside. I think that the queue line will probably have some sort of theming to tie into this. It could very well be some sort of enclosed to an extent queue line. We do see that there are canopies and covers to it that could help add to that enclosed feeling. So I think that we're going to see this whole ruins, this whole dilapidated structure, and this story be told straight through the whole entire roller coaster, especially knowing that there are going to be thematic elements throughout the track work. As indicated by the site plans filed with South Whitehall Township that call out foundations for theming. So I don't think that this haunt structure is going to be the only ruins tie-in. I think that this whole area is going to gain a ruins tie-in. I'm not ready to speculate on whether Flying Scooters is going to get some sort of Bethlehem Steelworks ruins treatment on it. I'm not ready to go there yet. Honestly, it's a side note on this whole project. This new haunt structure, this new roller coaster, and what we think is a new haunt zone are far more important in the grand scheme of things than just the Flying Scooters. But that's where we're at. We believe that we are looking at a very large project that is going to encompass 2 separate attractions, one of which will be year-round, the other of which will be a seasonal attraction. That will be the new Scare Zone and, of course, the new haunt structure. The haunt structure is going to tie into urban exploration again. So let's talk about Project 2024, where we're at. There have not been many updates to Project 2024. The construction walls are still there. The construction walls have been expanded. They are leaving this gated section open, and I would imagine that is going to stay open for the foreseeable future in order to move equipment in and out, especially as they're working on the haunt structure. Especially if they build that out any further and they can't run any equipment down the pathway that goes between the bathrooms and that haunt structure. Again, it's a solid construction wall, about 8.5 feet tall. It's going to require a selfie stick to look over. Don't try climbing over it. Again, don't get trespassed off Dorney's property. You don't want to miss what's coming because this is going to be a huge one. And then the haunt structure, I keep saying haunt structure, the construction walls from behind, they're very securely footed, and we have no new progress on the site at where Project 2024's coaster is going to go. They still have the compost filters. They are still wrapped up on pallets as of Saturday. As of Saturday, they have not been moved into any of the places where I said that they would be, according to the plans filed with South Whitehall Township. We have not seen any of the Blackhawk inlet filters put out there, although I think that they are on site as well. And then the buildings in the rear, the old pavilions that were used as storage. They are being gutted outside of the one that's right here, which is being used to help build the inside of the new haunt structure, and I'm guessing being used to build the set pieces that we're seeing in the teasers. But the final haunt, or the final pavilion, the main one that was packed to the brim with everything from carnival stuff to old haunt stuff, there are some final construction walls in there, and then that structure is just about empty. Now, if you're walking from Possess towards Steel Force, you will notice this circled, or this painted circle on the sidewalk. I tried referencing the construction documents. I can't find it anywhere what this would be. So if you are someone that knows engineering, knows construction, anything like that, definitely let me know in the comments if you have any insight into this. Again, I referenced our construction documents. I can't find a single thing on this, and it's quite unfortunate. But there's already some marking on the pavement where there is supposed to be work done on the planners. I don't know if it's necessarily tied into each other. Could this be something just as like a, hey, be careful around this area? Absolutely. I don't know. I'm not an expert when it comes to construction markings. That's why I don't speculate on construction markings. That's why I lean on you, the viewer. If you happen to know what construction markings are, what is that? Definitely let me know. And I guess a final thing to talk about when it comes to Project 2024. This weekend was the last rides for Zephyr for the season. Zephyr, as I predicted, is going to be closing down. It's closing down a lot earlier than I predicted, but it is closing down. And it makes perfect sense why it'd be closing down. There is going to be a lot of construction, a lot of heavy steel moving, and a lot of heavy equipment in that area. Will they rip up the tracks for Zephyr in order to keep them safe? I don't know. I would suspect that they're either going to rip them up or they're going to put something over top of them to help protect them. But it makes perfect sense why you were closing down Zephyr for this construction. I suspected it was coming. And again, it happened a lot sooner than I expected. Unfortunately, that means we're not going to get the really cool views from Zephyr of the construction site, which means we have to get more creative with getting you views while still following Dorney Park's rules and following what they expect from a park guest. Remember, Dorney Park doesn't cater to enthusiasts. They cater to a park guest. So if an enthusiast is there doing something which disrupts park guests, Dorney Park's going to take action against that. So if you're doing something that disrupts their guests, they care more about their guests than they do us enthusiasts. Yes, they love toying with us. Yes, they know we are latching on to this, and they are going to continue messing with us. But the day-to-day function of the park is more important to them than us getting footage. So we will be making sure not to disturb any park guests. We'll be making sure that we do not interrupt the day-to-day functions of anyone or anything at the park. But until next year, we'll see you, Zephyr. It was great riding you this year. And that'll do it for our Project 2024 construction update, haunt update, whatever you want to call this. I'm not going to label this as a construction update. It really isn't. It's a haunt update. This is an update on what we see for the haunt, what we see for a theme, what we see for a storyline. Dorney Park, I guarantee you, has a few more teasers loaded up before August 10th gets here. Of course, August 10th, when they drop the official announcement, as soon as I can, I will get a video out there talking about it, analyzing it. As I say, I do not just release videos willy-nilly. I do not release videos without doing research. I do not release videos without knowing what the heck I'm talking about. So when they release the official announcement, all the big YouTubers will probably have videos up way before me. But that is because I am going to go through the announcement, every detail, and everything I can find so I can bring you the highest quality and the best update on this amazing project that I can. That's my goal. That's why I'm doing this. Because, well, someone's got to do it. Until next video, I'm Henry with Conley Coaster Designs. Stay safe, show each other love. Like I always say, we're a niche community. We are unique. Let's show each other the love we deserve, and let's show those around the park the love we deserve. And, hell, let's show the employees at the park the love they deserve. Peace, y'all.